Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, Alice Rouse, author of this little guy right here. These other little books where you can get all that. My merchandise is down in that description, you guys. Down at the link tree has all my stuff where you can get my book, my merchandise, all my social medias. So go down, fiddle about. And you guys, you can see something's a little bit different today because I have previously recorded this actual subject, two subjects that I'm going to speak on today. Kind of didn't do everything I wanted to do in the first one, so we're going out TikTok style today, last minute, kind of redoing the subject that I really do want to put out, but just kind of wanted to make a few changes, say a few extra things. So, all right, always what I love to say every time, thank you so much for all the love and support, all the kindness to everybody here, everybody on all my social media, the people that I'm meeting. You guys rock. You guys rock so much. I can't even tell you how much I just adore every single one of you. And like I said, today's subject is going to be a little touchy. There will be some talk about self decisions of checking out of this world, not mine or anything like that, but there will be some subject, and this may be a shorter video today, episode today, but like I said, it's just something that's really been bothering me for some time, and I'm going to kind of protect the guilty, so to speak. I'm not going to mention names. If you figure it out, cool. Don't put it down in the bottom. I don't want anybody bothering anybody. I don't want anybody to condemn anybody. This is just something that happened that kind of made me go, what the actual? So, and because I'm just a little bit stupid, I'm just drinking straight from the bottle. We're just doing some Irish cream, some little Brady's. I had this because I was using it in a recipe, but everybody grab your bottles, kick up your feet, because we're going to have a little chat here on Cocktails and Rocktails. Cheers, big ears. Can never go wrong with the little bit of Irish cream, can we? I like my whiskey a little sweeter because it is whiskey, still whiskey. But okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is a situation where I had come across somebody befriended me, we ran into each other on a board where I'm part of, I'm not really active on, but just a page that was meant for a certain musician. Well, turns out there was this woman who wanted to meet her father, who was a musician, that I was very involved in. But she had been shunned by and rejected by and everything, so she kind of reached out to different people, ex-wives, friends of the band, people like that, and didn't get a ton of great reaction. And so I gave her absolute kindness, support. If she messaged me and wanted to know something, absolutely 100%. Absolutely 100%. Gave her everything she needed, everything she wanted. Never denied her anything. Never treated her rudely. Always was encouraging. She's very talented person. So, but I know there is a struggle along the journey, as there is when you don't know your father and you're looking for him and he turns out to be this rock star musician, whatever. So we all, even ex-wives, like I said, were helping her. One ex-wife was really giving her a hard time, really treating her very disposable, and it really just ate on her, and she was very vocal about it. And when she was vocal about it, several of us were extremely thoughtful and kind and supportive, and don't pay attention to that. That's just the way she is, because this ex-wife kind of did me dirty as well. So anyway, very supportive. And then one day on her page, there comes a post from this friend who said this person decided to take themselves out of this plane of existence by their choice. which was devastating because there was a child that was left behind. We all knew, felt so bad because, with everything that was going on with that journey of hers and the struggle, it was just so much for her. And we all felt so bad. And I posted condolences. I've even come on here and talked about the situation and kind of really been a voice when I thought she couldn't have a voice. And pay attention to what I just said. I thought. So basically, about a year or so later, I'm, on the page and there's all these friend suggestions. And I just am scrolling down and I just happen to see this face. I'm like, wait a minute. That looks familiar. Totally different name. That looks familiar. What? No. And I even kind of looked at the page, scrolled down, checked out her friends, and sure enough, still those mutual friends. Which I did message one of them. I'm like, hey, is this? And there was no, I'm like, is this what I think it is? Who I think it is? And there was no real clear answer given back to me. It's like, looks like it, kind of that type of thing, which fine. I respect the people around us, but because of this situation, it made me lose trust and respect. Because all of a sudden, here's this person that was supposed to be off of this plane of existence by their own choice. And a year and a half later, after me, having her back, being like, what horrible people these other people were to her, what horrible ways they treated her, that she felt this was her only way out. So it just completely infuriated me. And that I'm seeing this page and it's the same person, same kind of post, same everything, talking about this child, everything, pictures, everything. And I never had a clear answer on it, but really what it comes down to is what the actual, you did this grand dramatic scheme, whatever that was for whatever reason, to end that part of your journey. And not in the way that we all thought she did, because that looks like it was a lie. Because like I said, it's the exact same person, 2 different names, but a year and a half later, this just resurfaces. And it's like, did you not realize that if we have mutual friends, you're going to come across my page, or we're going to be posting in the same places? Did you not realize that? Because as disposable as you were made to feel by the other people in this musician's lives, by the first ex and everything, you just did that to me. And you didn't just do that to me. You made me lose trust in the other people that you chose to take on to the second part of your journey. You could have been an adult and said, hey, guess what? This part of my journey I've got to put behind me because it's not ever going to happen. I'm just rejected at every angle. It's not going to be what I thought it would be. So for my life, for my future, for my kids' future, I want to not see this part of my heritage anymore. Cool. I'm down with that. I don't belong in the next part of your journey. That's okay. You don't belong on any fucking part of my journey. But because you are who you are, and because of my association with your father, my longtime friendship with your father, that you are never going to meet, that you're never going to have a relationship with, I opened you with welcomed you with open arms. You sought me out. I didn't seek you out, nothing like that. So why would you treat other people who had your back, who are kind to you, disposably, just like you were just treated so disposably, that made you hurt so bad that you had to go to dramatic bullshit lengths to end that part of your journey because you knew it just was a dead-end street? So, and with that said, also, what a horrible way to choose to ghost people, to dispose of people like we weren't ever human and didn't ever do a nice thing for you. is to use something that you don't know how close that hit to home with me and with several others. I was in a situation so bad that all I wanted to do was get out. And if making a rope apparatus to take myself out of the equation was the only way out, I did it. I tried, I made that. I did not research. I tried, and I just, in the end, I couldn't do it. But it was something that hit so far below the belt and too close to home that that's what you used to ghost people, to dispose of people who were just kind to you, never did a thing to hurt you. You just were such a selfish child that all you wanted to do was always about you, always about you, always about what you were never gonna, was not about what anybody else lost. It's not about what anybody else felt for you or believed for you or did for you. It was always just about your feelings, what you wanted. And woe is me. And I'm sorry things will never go the way they should have gone. You know how I feel about that. You should have had the opportunity. You should have had the relationship. But like I said, it's just not going to happen. And there's nothing any of us can do about that. None of us. But you asked of me and I gave kindly and respectfully. And then you did me dirty. And you used a subject that hits home for people. And pretty much making it a joke. Other people's real feelings being that low that they can't figure any other way away from things. You did that to other people. So I have no longer respect. I blocked this person on all social media so that they can never contact me again, because you don't deserve me. You may have been selfish in ending your journey, which fine, like I said, if you needed to end that journey to move forward, that's okay. You can say, hey, thank you for the friendship that you gave me while I needed it. And I'm cool with that. But no, you had to use a lie so disparaging that you made a joke out of other people who actually let that be a part of their disparaging journeys. That's disgusting. So that's just something I had to say, because it really, really has been kind of writing, kind of just for months now, months and months and months. So I've said my piece, and now that is a part of the end of my journey. Even though you don't know that I know. Because like I always say, rock and roll, it's a tiny, tiny world. We find everything out. We know everybody. Shit comes across your social media pages. So, there you go, sweetheart. I know. And I'm disgusted. And you don't deserve the kindness that any of us gave you, that you treated disposably. So, let's move on to the next thing I wanted to talk about, because I get this one in the comments quite a lot. And you guys, I want to answer this because it is actually answered in a previous episode, which I'll put down in the description. But it's also answered in my book, How to Flirt with a Rockstar 101. Or, the groupie, How to Be a Groupie series. It's the second of those pocket books, that How to Flirt with a Rockstar. This is something I hear all the time. I wouldn't know what to say to him. Oh my gosh, I'd be so boring. I'm just a stupid person from the real world. Don't ever think of yourself like that, for starters. You've got different hobbies. Who gives a fuck about your job? Who gives a fuck? If you want to go talk to a rock star, drop all those insecurities. Don't go into rabbit holes down the internet thinking this is the person that you know, because it's not. We were very lucky in the 80s to not have the internet, to just be able to get fake IDs, go to the hotel bar, and get to know these guys as they were off stage. Because a lot of people think it's the groupies. The groupie is there for the rock star. The rock star, the music, that's what we want to be part of. Not necessarily the rock star, but the music family, the eye of the storm. But the groupie's job really is to keep that rock stars, because when they're on the road, things are hectic. You've got to separate yourself from the rock star, from the fans, from all the brouhaha, just to get 5 minutes of sanity and peace and quiet. So groupie's really part, not job, but part of her existence is to keep that one foot on the ground for that rock star when he's off that stage, to remind him he's just a guy. And you know what, you guys, you go to bars all the time. We have a few drinks, we see that hot guy, we get a little nervous, we want to talk to him, but little liquid courage and we go talk to him. And we don't know what we're going to say because we haven't had time to think about it, or to go on the internet, or just go down these rabbit holes and stuff. So you just let that conversation flow organically. Do the same thing when you go to the hotel bars looking for the rock stars. It's no different. You just built them up in your head to be these gods that you're not worthy of. And sweetie, we're all just human beings. Every human being is worth some beauty somehow, some way. Okay, maybe there aren't like Jeffrey Dahmer and, you know, a little bit of starfuckers and stuff like that who are just greedy. And those pink suits. What the fuck was that? Anyway, so it's for you metallic chicks. But anyway, it's just a conversation. Don't go with any expectations. Don't go thinking that you are of no interest to them, because you might be. They might have an interest in your job. You guys might have interest together, like art, like ski jet, snowmobiling, whatever. You know, you don't know what. And don't ever talk about the music. That's the one thing I always say in all my books about the Groupie 101 series. Don't talk about the music, because then he's going to turn his rock star right back on. And he's going to go into work mode. And you don't want to go into work mode when you're socializing and having a good time. We all need to get away from work for a little bit. So keep that in mind. And don't be nervous. Like I said, just be like, hey, what's your name? Blah, 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 what's yours? Blah, 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 where are you from? What you doing in my town, bitch? No, I'm kidding. But just, you know, general conversation like that. Just start it naturally and let it flow. They're going to ask you what you do. Don't be scared, because who cares? I mean, we need, as a society, we need to stop judging ourselves and letting other people judge us on what we do for a living, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't make us a better person. It just makes us someone who works hard to keep a life, to keep a roof over their head, to keep, you know, money in the bank, to go on vacations, to do whatever. We all work hard to get what we've got. So don't be ashamed or afraid, or think that just because you put them on a pedestal because they're rock stars. They're not rock stars when they're off that stage. They're only rock stars a couple hours a night, a few nights a week when they're on the road, or doing interviews or red carpets or whatever. So don't be afraid. Don't let society tell you that you're not good enough. I mean, shit, probably didn't even have a job when I was 15, starting to hang out with the rock stars. And then when I did, I worked at Burger King when I was able to get a job. And then I was never, these rock stars, they never saw me as a stripper. I was never scared of what I did for a living. I think that's kind of, you know, another advantage of the 80s, that we didn't have people judging us like that all the time. You know, we were expected, the younger we weren't going to have a top-notch job. We weren't going to be making millions of dollars. I mean, today we can do things differently, of course. But I think it's really important to have, we all value ourselves, but really truly value yourself. When you're going to talk to these guys, don't tell yourself that, oh my God, this, you know, I'm not worthy. The Wayne's World, we're not worthy. Every human being is worthy. And you know what? If you just walk up and have a normal conversation, let it flow, you're going to have a fucking awesome time. And so will your favorite musician. If you could go upstairs, spend the night, that's cool. If you don't, cool. Have no expectations, not of the night, of yourself, or anything. And know that you're an interesting person. You've got something to say. You've got interesting hobbies. You've got interesting opinions, you know? So there's a lot to be said just sitting at that hotel bar without preconceived notions. So it kind of comes down to this. You know, I think we get because we're not out, you think your job because you're just not out there traveling, standing on a stage with all these lights and roadies and crews and albums and on TV and stuff. We get up every day, we look at our faces in the mirror, the same old face. We see our flaws. We go to work every day, whether we love our job or not. It's the same old job every day. We take the same route every day. Well, guess what? With rock stars on the road, rock and roll, it's the same old shit every day. It's the same old face in the mirror every day. So don't feel like they're not, like, people are not on different levels. We're all kind of going through our own shit, but we're also kind of going through some shit together and having the same feelings and stuff. So you know what? Go out. Remember that. And if that doesn't work, if this advice doesn't work for you guys, picture them in their underwear. Just like it said on the Brady's. Remember that? So, hope it helps you guys. Never feel like I don't know what I would say to them. You know what you need to say? Hi. The rest of the conversation will flow from there. You are everybody's amazing people. We all have something that is interesting to someone else, even though it may not be interesting to ourselves. Meeting other people, seeing other people's lives, opinions, cultures, choices, everything, tastes. I love it. I think that's a great adventure, and that's all it is, going to the hotel bar. Just going to another bar, having a couple drinks, and getting a little liquid courage to talk to the guy you want to. You've got nothing to lose. 50-50 shot. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for sitting through my stuff today, kind of coming with me on that journey with the whole fake, thing that just, because that's just low. You don't do that to people. You don't know what you were so selfish that you did that to people. You didn't know that struggle hit all too real for them. People who are treated, groupies get treated disposably enough, even though we don't treat other people like that. But there you were. After you were treated so horribly, just dismissed out of hand, you did the same thing. No, I'll never get over that. And you changed me, and like I said, you changed the trust I have in other people. You kind of changed the way I see them, because now all of a sudden they're protecting you from me. For why? For why? What did I ever do to you? That's cool if you don't want me on the rest of your journey. I don't have a problem with that. But bow out respectfully. And go to that hotel bar and talk like you have never talked before. Have confidence. That's the sexiest thing. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for getting today's episode. And again, thank you so much for letting me redo this and waiting an extra day. I know I didn't make any posts this week or last week about it. It's just been fucking crazy for me lately. So, thank you so much for your patience and your kindness. And again, I don't want anybody trying to find out who this is, or even saying, if you know, you know. I know some people will know who I'm talking about. But I don't want anybody harming them, harming this person, or coming back and being like, that's disgusting, or bullying him or anything like that. That's not acceptable. She's going to see this. That's what I gotta say to you. Nobody takes advantage of me like that. So, all right, you guys. And thank you so much, as always. I know I've said it 1,000 times at the end of this video, but thank you so much. And if you're just hanging out in the nosebleeds, just kind of watching from afar, hit that subscribe, become a member, because you guys, I've obviously, look at your credit cards, you're not getting charged for Patreon anymore. So bring your memberships over here, because I want to do lives only for members. I want to do a lot of things for the members only, but I need a few more members. So, and subscribe, hit the bells. You know how much I love playing with my bells. So we will see you next time on Cocktails and Rocktails, you guys. Cheers, big ears.